the difference between being and doing. So can you explain what that is?
Yeah, man. So here, I'll use patience as a good example, right? Um, we hear this all the time, and you'll hear it from me from time to time as well. Yeah, it's got to be patient. You got to stay in the game. Blah blah. You can be patient, or you can try and do patience, right? Let's look at doing patience. What does that mean? Pacing up and down. Like trying to pass the time, trying to oh yeah, I'm just trying to be patient, man. It's like you're waiting for a job interview. No, fuck that. You're waiting for an Amazon parcel, right? And
Yeah.
every day you're checking the notifications, you're checking the tracking ID, you're checking everything. That's doing patience, because it's on the forefront of your mind, and you're trying to do something with the thoughts that you're having, right? When you're being patient, you're not your being dictates what you do. So my being when I'm doing patience is very sped up. My being when I'm being patient is very slowed down. It's like, hey, we gotta wait. We're gonna wait. And we might draw stuff in between. We might go and make a cup of tea, but it's not going to be at a frantic pace. And it's not going to be with the intention of speeding time up or anything like that. It's just going to be, this is what it is. I'm going to accept that, and I'm going to leave it alone. That's one example. Another example of being versus doing is people are looking for doing solutions to being problems. So I'll give you a good example of this. Let's pick relationships, right? A lot of people can relate to that. You're saying, oh yeah, I'm jealous. Right? I had this problem before. It's not nice. Who are you going out with? What time are you coming back? No one signed up to have a parent. They signed up to have a partner. So my being there is very jealous, right? The things I do that come from that being jealous are horrible, controlling behaviors. But people look for doing solutions to say, well, what can I do instead? No. Go back. Look at your being. How do I drop a jealous way of being? That is where the inner work comes in. That's where you got to drop a lot of your ego around, like, oh, my girlfriend talked to another guy. What the hell does that have to do with you? That's a being. That's not a doing thing. A doing thing is you went over and you pushed that guy, but that all comes from a dysfunctional way of being first. Your doing always comes from your being. So it's like another good example to use is food, right? When you're craving bad foods, and you really want to do better in your diet or whatever it is, your being, if you choose not to eat that food, your being is self-love. Your being is like, I've got myself. I'm going to make sure I don't do that. If your being is, I need to escape my reality, then your doing is going to reflect that. You're going to be binging a lot. You're going to be seeking out distractions to compensate for your way of being. Does that answer the question?
Yes, it does. It does. And I think I heard something really beautiful on a podcast this week. It's on a Rich Roll podcast. I can't remember the name of the guest, to be honest, but it was the guest that said it. And he said, when it comes to being, it's about being present and being in the moment. And when you're truly in the moment, it's when you're both your body and your mind are in sync with what you're doing right here and right now. Because more often what we find is that our body is in one place, like we're here having this conversation, and my mind could easily be thinking about all the other stuff I have to do today, or the webinar that I got to host later, or what's on my to-do list for tomorrow, or what I'm doing on the weekend, or whatever. But I'm being here because I'm present with this conversation. So my mind is with my body by being in this conversation. And I think that's another really interesting way to kind of break it down, is like when you're being, you're truly being in sync with your mind and your body. You're not mind in one place, body in another. You're together in what you're doing. And that will give you a lot of reflection in terms of like how you output that into the world. Like you said, if you're the food example you gave, if you're wanting to escape your reality, you're going to binge on food because it's a quick fix, easy dopamine hit, whatever, etc., rather than being present with what is it that you're actually feeling and taking care of yourself in that moment.